So this is what it looks like. See that? So this is what I was supposed to respond to, right? I saw it here on the channel. I'm looking at it right now. I see he got the St. Louis on right there on his shirt with the Cardinal hat. Brand new from the store. Repping St. Louis, where he's from. So I see it right there. So at least he's repping where he's from. You know, not all this Harlem talk. Repping the loot. I think deep down he has a good heart, but what he's doing right now and wanting to address the people, because I got y'all things saying he addressing y'all. That's cool. At least he's attempting to address it. Now, or giving the impression that he is addressing. Let me tell you what he didn't do. He didn't address me. If that's what you thought. If that was addressing what the comments I made, that wasn't it. That clearly isn't it. Because the questions I asked or said was very direct. So because it was direct, this clearly wasn't the way. This clearly wasn't the movement. That's funny. They actually have a thumbnail pop up. That's hilarious. Now, he bring up deferred and he bring up they tried to take my life. Who did he send at you to take your life? Diddy has never once said he tried to take your life, and you never even said that. You said that he said that I need to be dealt with. Like somebody should just deal with me. Gene knew that the guy he was talking to that told him that Diddy wasn't telling him to smoke you. You know that. He talking about just beat Gene up. You know, Diddy has never called an order for anybody to be dealt with. According to you, see, your hate for Diddy has reached such levels that you kind of go blind and forget the things you actually say. First, you say the man ain't built like that. When you stated that he didn't have anything to do with Tupac being hit, you said Diddy ain't built like that. No, he ain't gonna be like, yo, put a hit on them and all that. He ain't built like that. Now, how is he not built like that, but yet he built like that to try to put a hit on you? Come on, stop. You forget what you say sometimes, which contradicts the rest of your strategic hate. And I said the word strategic based on that fact that it's opportunistic. Yeah, it's like, dude, you're doing it for the money. Just say you're doing it for the money. That's all you gotta do. Say you're doing it for money. Just say, man, I'm doing this interview with you, Art, because I want the money. That's why. I need the money. Tell the truth. Tell Art the truth. You keep bringing up D Ferg. He didn't help out D Ferg, and that got you hot. Okay. He died the day after my birthday. Okay. And I don't know the reasons why Puff didn't help him. I don't. But who knows? He could have helped him. What I do know is his son, ASAP Ferg, was right with Diddy. That I do know. What I also know is you tried to make it seem like Diddy not giving him the money led to his demise. That's what you tried to make it assume, make it look like. But you could get away with saying, I never said that. But what you said was this. You said out your mouth, and y'all can go look it up. He said, D Ferg came to see Puff and asked him for some money. And he said he had money on him that he could have gave D Ferg. That was Puff's. So he didn't give it to him. And when he saw D Ferg, he said, what happened? And he didn't give it to him. He thought Puff had gave him the money. He found out Puff didn't give him the money. And he had gave that money back to Puff. Puff didn't even know he had it. And he was so mad, he could have gave D Ferg that money. But you also said D Ferg had owed some guys some money. So he was coming there to ask Puff for some money because he owed these guys, and these guys were serious. Then you said D Ferg died the day after my birthday. Puff didn't give him the money. So you're making it appear to be that Sean Puffy Combs is the reason for the demise. And you're making it seem like if you heard the way I just told that, you would think what? If you just heard the way I just broke that down, what are you gonna think? You're going to think yeah, but if I said that one time, what would you assume? What would you think? You would think that somebody took D Ferg out because Diddy didn't give him any money. That's what you would think, right? And you would be right in your mind to think that because of how he told this story. But see, he never said it. That's misdirection. That's what Gene is doing. That's what's wrong. D Ferg died from dialysis. He had kidney problems. He was on dialysis. He was on dialysis when he came to see Puff that day. So whatever went down in there, he never mentions this. Because he needs to have this lie be entertaining, or this story to make it look like Diddy's the reason for D Ferg. Diddy's the reason for this. Diddy's the reason for that. You don't have to believe me. Go look it up. Go look up Mr. Ferguson and see how he passed, and see that he passed away from kidney problems, kidney failure, and he was on dialysis. Rest in peace. But the biggest question you need to ask yourself is, why is he doing that? Why is this individual doing this? That doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe it makes sense to some, but not me. He did mention he was on dialysis. Okay. Well, why didn't he mention he passed away from dialysis? Why he try to make it look like somebody took D Ferg out because he couldn't pay him the money? Why did he do that? Don't that... You see what I'm saying? First, Diddy ain't built like that. First it goes to Diddy ain't built like that, to Diddy is now putting hits on people. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Which one is it? He can't be both. So my thing is, when D Ferg passed away, did you walk off your job and protest and say I quit? Did you quit after you found out he didn't help D Ferg? Did you say, man, you ain't helped D Ferg, I quit? Because you said that was the main reason that he was coming for you. Then you said he was trying to take your life, sending men after you to take your life. Come to find out, I'm sending nobody at you to take your life. I'm like, nobody was coming to take your life. You knew that. Come on. I mean, it's just, this is what I'm saying, when you're just going too far, bro. Now, when he said, well, what do you think about people saying you're going too far? Now, that was for me, because I'm the one saying you're going too far, bro. You taking this way too far. Going after his kids, you going way past, you way past the gun line. Right, I just listened to the stories, and the way you tried to tell the story first is not how you telling the stories now. When you first told the story about what happened with the tragedy when them people got locked in that party that Diddy, Heavy D threw, and the lady, you never really stated it was the lady's fault. You really leaned on Puff and tried to make it look like these people's lives was all on his hands. It's like, dude, you just went way too much with the slandering. Way too much with the slander. Now you want to tell it right because they basically got your money. No, a lot of it's not fake. No, don't say Gene's telling fake stories. It's not fake. It's just told in a way that's to make it look like, appear like something else is happening. The events happened, but the way he's telling the story is making it allude to something else. Like there's a bigger plan going on. He knows what he's doing. You know, he knows what he's doing when he's telling these stories. He's setting them up that way to make it allude like it's this, so it gives him full autonomy saying, I never said that. It's not what I said. I was like, yeah, I know what you said, but I know what you were alluding out there. So it's the way that you're saying the story. Like Andre Harrell, like people don't even know. I know that clear as day. Andre Harrell is related on my father's side through a marriage. His family, his people is married to my cousin. So that's something a lot of people didn't know on my father's side. So Andre Harrell was married into our family. So he came very well off and very well educated from the person who was married in. So that's how the Harrells got mixed in with the Collins. Yeah, everybody been DMing me about this. Salute, Star, what's going on? The hater misses nothing. So, Gene goes ahead and tells this story again. And he comes off and he tells it in a way to make it seem like it's one thing and then it's something else entirely. Andre Harrell hated Tupac. Andre Harrell did not hate Tupac Shakur. He didn't have not one problem with Tupac Shakur until Tupac Shakur started blaming him for what happened and throwing his name in it. If he hated Tupac so much, why the hell would he go into Death Row's offices and get himself beat down when Tupac was there? To the point where Andre left the country. I don't have to be there to know that Andre took a beating in Death Row office. We all know that. If you don't know Andre Harrell took a beating down in that office, I don't know why would he even go down there. We all know that took place. I bet the hater knows it took place. I know Star right in here. I know he knows that took place. See, what's known don't need to be explained. If he had problems with Pac like that, he's not going in that office. Right, but we know that happened. We know he got violated. We know what went down. Now, my thing is this. Andre Harrell was executive producer, once again, for New York Undercover. And I stated this to Gene. I said, Gene, your story you told got one flaw. And just so he could be corrected, I said Andre Harrell did not hate Tupac Shakur at that time. In 1994, he was trying to get this man onto the label. He was trying to get him on New York Undercover. And Malik Yoba brought Tupac to the set. Tupac ain't even supposed to be on the premises because Tupac is banned from Fox. See, Gene didn't know all this. Tupac was banned from Fox. Malik Yoba told the story himself that he brought Tupac on there, and then he sat with Andre Harrell. He told the whole meeting. And he sat there, he said, man, everybody was nervous when he first got there. Then they were calm, you know, because they didn't know, they just know about what they read about Tupac. They didn't really know too much. And Andre met him, and he had met him earlier in the club earlier, before, when he was with Jack. He met Andre Harrell. So now when he met him in the office and he explained what was going on, he said, man, look, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to bring the bosses in here next week. Sit down and tell them exactly word for word how you just told me everything that went down. And I'm going to get you on New York Undercover. Because the show needs you. We need you on the show. We need your energy. That night, Tupac got shot. That happened that day, and by that night, Tupac was shot. Tupac was banned from Fox because of the In Living Color situation where they beat up the limo driver. Not him personally, but the Thug Life and whoever was in the limo, they beat up the limo driver, and he sued In Living Color, Fox, and Tupac. So they settled out of court, and he was banned from Fox. Fox banned Tupac Shakur and the whole thing. So that was it. So he was banned from Fox. Gene Deal knew none of this. So when he was telling the story, he's just making this part up as he goes. Just saying they hated him. So all the people that hated Pac is up in that room. Cause Puff, he know he trying to steal big from him. He hate, it's just theatrics. You either want the truth or you want theatrics. Not once did he tell you D. Ferg passed away from dialysis, because that messes up this Diddy story. That messes up all his Diddy story. He's never told you that. D. Ferg passed away from kidney failure. He never tells you that. He still bring up D. Ferg as the reason he's beefing with him, trying to allude that because he didn't give him the money, because he owed some money to somebody, like that's the reason he got taken out. He's leaving that to your imagination to say, damn, he got taken out because Diddy wouldn't give him the money to pay them dudes off. Never did he mention. See, that's how you do misdirection. That's how you tell a story all screwed up. That the commoners don't know anything and was like, Diddy did him dirty. Yeah, he mad at the people that did the documentary. Now he over there like, they stole my idea. They took everything from me and then made the documentary. Cause you didn't know what you was doing. You just calling people, making a deal. Give me 5,000. Art don't have no problem giving you 5,000 to sit down there and talk, and he gonna make 100,000 off the damn video. He got no problem. You have done nothing to say, well, okay, well, I want to use this footage on my channel and be able to do this, and I want this kind of deal. You don't know how to license the material or nothing. He knows, okay, I got a golden goose. And Art gonna keep sticking you. That's why he gonna keep, come on, sit down, make me another 100 grand. Cause now I get to chop this up, put it out, change the words to whatever I wanted to say, get everybody mad, use your image to keep making me money, and I just paid you a flat fee. Here's your 5 stacks. Man, these dudes don't understand. Shout out to Art. Yeah, shouts out to Art. He getting his money. Go ahead, Art. One day they're gonna wake up and you gonna have to find another guy. Hey, but keep doing what you're doing, baby. Keep sticking these fools. Now, yeah, Diddy and doggone, what's his name? Andre Harrell had nothing to do. They didn't know anything. Jimmy Henchman ain't gonna tell them nothing about anything that's going on. What the hell would he be telling Diddy? And yeah, man, this dude Tupac, man, yeah, we finna get him. I'm gonna show him. That's not Jimmy at all. Anybody who know Jimmy Henchman and know how Jimmy moved, if you wasn't part of his crew or somebody that was in his circle, he didn't talk. Jimmy wasn't talking to you. Period. My cousin rapped with Jimmy's guys. He had Jamaican dudes that he rolled with. Some doggone Haitian Jamaican dudes. Dog, they were crazy. And they rapped with my cousin. I couldn't remember his name. My cousin knew his name top of his head. But he rapped with him. Dude got about $150. His whole back is nothing but $150s. And he got that in Rikers. And his whole rap was about, I've been had, I've been stabbed, I've been jabbed. Yeah, he was from Brooklyn. He the one told us the whole drop on 1994. The Tupac everything. Told the whole story. Knew everything from the back of the street. I'm like, oh, shoot. You'd have thought he was there. Because he was with Jimmy Crew. So he knew the whole thing, what went down, and man, ain't no Andre Harrell or Puffy got nothing to do with a damn thing. They didn't know what was going on. They always at the Hit Factory Studios. They there with Big Sean and all that. Yeah, they down there. Diddy didn't even know Biggie was there. So Pac don't even know. He had never been to this studio before in his life. He don't know how it's set up. It's like different floors. Biggie and them on the 5th floor, they on the 3rd floor. You don't, if you don't know who on the 5th floor, it's like you go in an apartment building. You don't know who the hell on the next floor. You only know what's going on the floor you own. So people tell the stories all screwed up, and then they keep creating new narratives, changing history. All right, that whole incident with them people died in there had nothing to do with Diddy whatsoever. It was all that lady who locked the doors. Gene finally told the main truth on that, and yes, that lady who locked the doors sealed a fate for them, and she should have been in jail and in prison. They had the same thing happen up here with the E2 club in Chicago. Same thing happened. They locked the doors, and everybody got trampled. And this was like right after 9/11. My cousin was in there. She's lucky to be alive. I didn't even know she was in that club when that happened. Somebody like tried to pepper spray somebody, and somebody said, oh, they throwing tear gas in here. And they just started a panic, and everybody started running to the doors. But none of those things was transpired. None of it. Well, Pac tell y'all what's going on in Against All Odds. Period. His main thing of going with Puffy and Biggie was Suge Knight. He was taking Suge Knight's beef and making it his own. Right. He keeps telling that Diddy is responsible for Wolf. And he knows Wolf like way better than I know Wolf. I'm going to tell you that right now. But to sit there and say that incident that happened with BMF had something to do with Puff, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Wolf was taken out by a guy he got hired, that he took to BMF to get hired. He said, hey, y'all looking for somebody that can do X, Y, and Z? My man can do X, Y, and Z. That same man he got the job is the same man that ended up taking his life and his other boy's life. That had nothing to do with Diddy. It had something to do with ego and pride and over a girl, and it was all crazy. Had nothing to do with Diddy whatsoever. So for him to even bring that story up, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm like, why would you even bring that up and still try to make it look like that's on Diddy? How? They don't even make it. How do you get there? How do you get there, dog? Really? Knowing how that went down and why it went down the way it did, that had nothing to do with Diddy. Absolutely nothing. He wasn't even there. He wasn't consulted about it. Everything happened right then and there, that moment in time. It's unfortunate that they lost their lives, but the fact that you keep bringing that up, you know, for his family members that's living to have to keep hearing that and reliving that moment, that's terrible. I wouldn't want that on anybody. I'd be like, man, stop talking about my son's demise and like quit bringing that up. Like, that ain't right. Just let it go. But now it's like, it's not like you gotta hate for Diddy. It's like, that's your meal ticket now. It's like, oh, I'm finna keep making money off this dude. I'm gonna keep doing it. Yeah, everybody hate Diddy right now, so it's real good. Yeah, pushing Diddy hate is profitable. So now I'm just gonna keep this going. It's just enough. So I'm only responding back to this because y'all asked me to, and I'm like, he never answered any of the questions that I had laid out. And y'all should ask him these questions. Tell him to explain this. Why are you not saying he passed away from dialysis on D-Ferg? Why you keep trying to say that's on Diddy? What Diddy is responsible for every life of a human being on the planet, according to you. You say Puff didn't owe Wolf money. If he owed Wolf money, that ain't got nothing to do with him being killed. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he owed him money or not. But what I do know is that what happened that night ain't had nothing to do with Diddy. At all. He should know that, and everybody involved should know that. 2 people lost their lives that didn't need to. Just say I'm in it for the money. At this point, that's about all you can say now. You played yourself. Let them take all your advice, and then they went and made the documentary off of your back. All the stuff you did, you basically curated the entire show, and they did it. Of course they did. And of course that chick did it. 50 Cent is just a tool. He ain't got nothing to do with any of it. They just used him as the face, so Netflix can say, okay, it ain't us. 50 Cent want to be the face, we gonna pay him. He get the media exposure, then whatever show he get, we could buy it from him, and then we just say, hey, we bought 50 Cent show, we didn't pay him for the documentary. You see how that worked? It's all a game politically being played. Of course 50 buck dancing too. But he shouldn't be buck dancing. Because this whole thing could turn around on him too. Domestic? Really? After the VMAs, my baby mama cussed my ass out. I kicked her ass. We back friends like Puffy and Steve Stout. Do we want to go there? To baby mama drama? You breaking down doors? Police reports? You one bad remark, one bad step from them taking you down. But he's going to be ahead of the game. He always going to be one step ahead of the game. He know right now they want to target Jay-Z and Diddy. See, 50 Cent is not in that position yet, where those two are. They want to disrupt that. And see, this is why Nas stay quiet. He ain't loud. He stay in the background so that it's harder to get people like Nas. See, he can stay in the background and still have people give him love. Other people, they end up stepping on people's toes. Because believe me, Nas could be an easy target too when they go digging in his past. But it's just not visibly seen because he stay low key. Man, a documentary can make anybody look bad. You can't believe none of that stuff they say. They've already proven about 90% of it is lies. So if you proving all this stuff is lies, it's like, dude, what are we doing here? Oh, they used Ready to Die to pay for the funeral. Lie. Complete lie. Unbelievable. And they told all these lies, and Netflix put it out. But they saying, hey, you're going to have to just sue these people. Like, this is not Netflix. We're not responsible for the comments. So you got to read the small print. See, they put their whole, like, hey, these words or these people, these are the people responsible for all this. Yeah, you got stupid people walking around there believing it. This is outrageous. Shame on Diddy. I mean, shame on him for what? What did he do? They never want to see people on top. That's the main problem. They love seeing you on the bottom. Documentaries, they always told on a slant. Whatever the agenda is. They had a documentary convicting a guy from a homicide, trying to allude that it was him who did it, and had a whole town ready to take him out, only to find out through DNA later on that it wasn't even him. All because they did a documentary, and it was on ABC. Yeah, and they locked up, what, 5 or and convicted them with no evidence. They spent years in jail, just like the Central Park 5. And they didn't want any of them to even be released, because they said, man, they could sue us and then we're going to go bankrupt. So we're just going to keep them locked up. Knowing it was wrong, knowing they were innocent and everything. They was just like, look, they already in the system. They've been in here for years. Leave them. Then they came up with a way. If they just say they're guilty to this, you know, and admit guilt, even though we know they're innocent, they can go home. And they was like, hell no. One of them was ready to go home, was like, yeah, I'll sign anything, I don't care. But the other one was like, hell no. I ain't never signing I'm guilty to something I didn't do. And I've been in here all this time, no. No, and no. Will I ever sign something saying I'm guilty of something I didn't do? So they had to come up with it where they signed some papers saying that they can't sue the state. And that was the way they was released. This is all because he went against real billionaires. Billionaires with power. And he tried to go against that power, and he embarrassed them. And they destroyed him. And they're making sure Diddy does not ever come back into the power again. all because he was challenging the system and the establishment. That anybody who would come near him or even want to help him would be humiliated and destroyed. And the only one that thought he could was West, until you saw him on his hands and knees begging that guy and kissing his hands and begging for mercy and forgiveness. No, it's not. It's bigger than Ciroc, buddy. It's bigger than that. What Diddy was asking for was fairness. See, what Diddy did is, people don't read the court documents. I read the court documents, so I know exactly what's going on. What Diddy did is he actually went to the places in Mexico for his tequila, his Darien tequila brand, to see what's going on, like what's actually going over there. And for what he was paying for, he wasn't getting. He was paying, they were giving him the worst of the, what was left over out of the wheats for his liquor. And he had paid for those lots. He's like, look, I paid for these because I want to have the best. So that's why I paid. I wanted mine to be up there. So all the stuff that they needed to make the tequila and stuff, they were just getting what was left over. And most people don't go to these plants to see what's actually happening. And what they're doing is they're building their other liquors up. And they're just using Diddy and basically saying, we just gonna push you in the urban market, and that's that. Like, you're basically not finna expand. We're not gonna let you franchise. And Diddy was like, F that. I'm suing y'all. This is racist. So what happened is he basically put it in the papers out there that they was being sued for racism, everything. They were humiliated because people are going to know that they're racist. It's like, yeah, we are racist, but no one's supposed to know that. Now we've been humiliated, and it's been in a court of law. Diddy won. The judge sided with Diddy against them, saying Diddy had the grounds to continue his case against them. People don't even know that happened. He won that to the point where it can go to the next level. So now it's in the paper that Diddy won in his case, and the judge admitted, like, yeah, that is wrongdoing here, and it is foul. You got grounds to continue with your case. And now it's going to go to a trial. Oh, no, it wasn't. That wasn't going to trial, buddy. You can forget that. You can cancel that. Oh, they made sure of that. Diddy said, oh, is that what you thought? You thought this was going to a trial? No. Diddy snapped his hand? I mean, they like, oh, Diddy thought he could do this to us? Cassie Ventura filed. What we got on Diddy? Oh, the video. He had did this video hitting him on the elevator. Good, we got that. Cassie, yeah, call her up. She's suing him for money. They're in a negotiation right now. Oh, he's gonna settle with her. And I hope he's stupid enough to fight it. Well, he's fighting it. Good. Release the video. Video's released. Next day, everything is settled. She put out all this stuff that she's gonna sue Diddy, and then next thing you know, the video's out, everything. I'm like, man, he should have settled. But for the embarrassing them, he's got to lose it all. They're going to strip him down to nothing to show him that he never was a billionaire. We're going to strip everything from you for the humiliation, so the next you don't get the balls to try. 50 Cent was in the same situation with his liquor brand when he was with Effin. Same situation. 50 trying to franchise. But what 50 didn't do was take them to court. 50 said, all right, we'll just go our separate ways. We'll just take the money Yep. Okay. I'm out. All right. Yep. I'll take the money. I'm gone. He didn't think about it. He didn't think about going up against that power. See, 50 Cent follows the 50 rules of power, or the 49 rules of power, but not outshining the master and all that stuff. I don't follow that book, but he follows that book. So he curbed and said, I will be a good, I know when to obey. See, Fifth know when and who to snap at. That's why Marlon Wayans said 12 years a slave. White dudes told you to go out there and be a mascot against Puff. Fifth just don't care anyway. But now with Fifth behind it, it make it look like it's 50's documentary. But I don't see G Unit Films on any of this. I'm like, I don't see G Unit Films. I don't see Cheetah Vision. I don't see any of that here. Netflix basically just paid for the documentary. They just here to distribute it. Somebody's getting paid. It's just a lot of people gonna be getting sued. So Netflix, that chick, I mean, everybody better start getting themselves together. Nah, I think Gene's wrong, man. I mean, really. In every aspect, he's wrong. In this element, taking it as far as he's taking it, he's wrong. He's 100% wrong. And if you're going to tell it the real way. Don't remix nothing. Tell it the real way. And just be honest. Just say, hey, man, I'm doing this for money. Because now you mad he got ripped off from the documentary, but you robbed yourself. You going to give them your whole plan and tell them everything you about to do and what they should do. And then they decide what the hell we need you for then. you done told us everybody to get, so now you mad. Man, they should have cut me a check. They stole my idea. So they put together, I told them to go get Terry. I told them to go get them. I told them to get those guys. I told them all this. I told them the stories. I told them all of that. So they made that documentary off me. That was on me. So I guess, yeah, I messed up. I shouldn't have told them all that. No, you shouldn't have. But you also shouldn't have been attacking the family. You shouldn't have been attacking any of them. I mean, a lot of this was just completely foul, man. It's like out of bounds. TMZ should sue. They should be sued too. All the lies they keep pushing. The Abercrombie and Fitch, you don't hear nothing about that anymore. They'll figure it out one day. Or maybe they won't. Let me not give them too much credit. At the end of the day, if you're going to address something, tell it right. Tell the story right. If you're going to address what I'm saying, address what I'm saying. That's all. Tell it right. That's all I ask. Yes, I do feel that at times. Whew. Okay, I'm in the wrong area. Well, you're dealing with people who can never get nothing right. You know, they did like 2-3 shows their whole damn life. Okay, I'd have been like that, dog. Did you quit your job? So I asked Gene, did he quit his job when Diddy didn't get D-Ferg the money? Was that enough to make him say, I'm off this job? I'm out of here. One, we don't know what, did he give him some money or didn't he? But going by Gene's story, was Puff obligated to give that man money? And when has it been anybody's responsibility to tell someone else what to do with their money? If Puff wasn't obligated to pay that man because you say he owed him, don't mean anything. That don't hold weight. He didn't say he was getting turned out by a Puff. Just the way he's telling the story now would make you believe that. What he's saying. He was saying that it was 2 girls in there with them at the same time. So he actually named the women, which was outrageous. I'd have never did that. But he named them, for money. He put it in his book. But now it's like, dog, there's so many things that you have seen in your life that you could talk about. This Diddy thing is played. So if that response was for me, it's weak. It's weak sauce, homie. Let me go ahead and take care of the kids.
Hello.
What's up, bro?
Shipping today?
Yep. Get this packed up and shipped out.
We'll print you in. Ship
All right. I'm going to holler at y'all.
Right over here, please. Let me get some.